Tell it quit spinning. We ain't here to do all the spinning. All righty, here we are live. Funky
Yes,
Uncles
sir.
live.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Gotta do it. Like to welcome everybody to the Funky Uncles tonight. And we have a full panel out here in this piece tonight. And hope everybody I know everybody's going to enjoy it. We have
Looks good.
special
Looks
guests, Miss Lori Livingston and Mr. Keir Thirus. Did I get that right?
Thirus.
Oh, the H is not silent this time. All righty, Mr. Keir Thirus. I'm just killing people's names, you know. And we also have my man Lewis, who's been on before. He enjoyed it so much he came back. And for the special guests, we have me, Funky Uncle Drew. Then we have Uncle Russo, aka G. And
how everybody doing?
This joker says Elder Uncle. I call him Circle K. I've been calling him Circle K for over 20 years. That's what he gonna get. And Josh, aka Big Six.
You know, you gotta embrace that age, man. You get over the hill, you know. Yeah, you gotta embrace that.
Over the hill, man. You just 50, bro.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm still climbing the hill. I ain't get over it yet.
Right. Just 50.
I'm 52.
Well, you on the other side of the hill.
So you just 52.
Hey, just 52, bro. Next year, I have to walk with the little tennis ball in here with the brakes. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to send Lando to join.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, y'all go ahead. Let me send this to him real quick.
Hey, 50 to 30, baby. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna do a little bootsy and get a 24-year-old young lady as a girlfriend. No, I'm not gonna do that.
Boy, you better be careful out there, boy. You better be careful out there, boy.
Ask the ID, birth certificate.
Listen, whatever is legal and whatever works.
24.
That was the old motto. 8 to 80, Brian Cripple crazy. If you can't walk, we'll talk to you. Nah, you can't do that no more.
This dude going back. He taking it back.
8 to 80, blind, crippled, and crazy, lazy,
God,
fat baby got snacks. Let me stop that. That's what Sean used to say all the time. But let's jump into this. Let's jump into this.
Let's do it.
G,
Man.
you saw the flick.
I did.
And man, I got to tell you guys, like I told Keir a little early. Everybody, you know, I do it on my little iPad. Like, yo, watch this. No, sit down. It ain't on. Watch this. And everybody's like, yo, I like that. Where's the next part? And I'm like, they didn't do it yet. But, you know, just to know that it's well received. You know, you guys have put in that work and people love it. People love it.
Thank you.
And I'd like to say I saw the clip. Yeah, the clip is phenomenal, man. And what I like, the thing for me was in the scene where after you guys hugged and, you know, the screen kind of went blank, man, I'm going to tell you the truth. I expect to see y'all in the bedroom making up. You know, when I look, y'all done fall asleep at the damn table. I said, look at this shit, man. I was laughing, bro, but that was a nice little twist to it, man.
Look, we got the sleeping out of the way. We got the sleeping done. Right? We make the magic now.
So,
yeah. It was cool, though, man. Nice flick, though, man. I liked it, man. I liked it a lot.
So that's a new definition of sleeping together. You know, at the table. You know, that's about the safest sex you can get. I ain't even touching
in 2024. You know that's what they call it, right? Yeah.
Right, man.
But the thing is, with the clip, it was that's the typical society is today. Now, you know, that's how it is. You know, y'all spot on. You know, I mean, from disagreeing on different topics or whatsoever. I mean, you know, when you get mad, you know, you're supposed to be as a one unit. But, you know, spot on, man. I loved it. Matter of fact, a couple other people at my job, I work for Amazon corporate. So everybody like, yo, what's that? Ooh, that's on Netflix? I said, well, it might be on soon. You know how Amazon is. So, they you know, we liked it.
I'll say that thank you, man. I appreciate it. I know Lori has a lot to say about it, but you know, Lori actually brought me onto it. And you know, thank you, Lori, because we had such fun. Me and Lori have known each other for years, and this is the first time we actually worked together. And it was one of those things where it was like, yeah, me and Lori, you know, we've had life experience, you know, and it's one of those things where only people with life experience in relationships, in marriage, who have, you know, gotten in their 40s can understand a script like this. You know what I mean? Like somebody in their 20s couldn't play this where it needed to be. You know, you gotta have lived some life to know how to fill up the words on these pages. And I think that you know, Lori was fantastic. And you know, she brought such a, you know, beauty, obviously, and intelligence, and you know, a real sense of, you know, coming from a real place, and you know, how she was feeling and who she was as the character and her intensity, and she was fantastic, and it was just playing off of her was real easy.
Man, you giving her flowers early, man. Wow. She's about one man, so you can grow some more. Yeah, man. You know, yes, you do. You do. Yeah.
And welcome to the stage, HD, another uncle. He's the uncle that's in Wisconsin, so he's out in cheese country.
Yeah, cheese.
What's going on?
How you all doing?
I don't think I sent it to HD though. HD, I'm gonna have to send it to you. You can't be out there, you know, you can't post it, but you can look at it, you can enjoy it like we did. But you gotta see it. You're gonna be like, man, listen, I gotta watch this again. Because actually the first time I saw it, after Lori sent it to me, I was moving around and I was like, he's eating a TV dinner. Hold up, what was she eating again? I had to rewind it. I was like, oh no, hold
the
up.
whole shrimp scampi, yo. Like
she's slurping that joint up.
She went to Red Lobster and wild out, yo. Like, man.
Yeah, the cheddar biscuits were in the oven warming up and all that.
Bro, the biscuits hitting, you know.
Lord,
I didn't get nothing.
Lord give him that Lord give him that Flintstone stouffer.
I didn't get nothing.
Yo, wildin'. Now the deal with the movie. So what most of y'all don't know is Keir was my acting coach when I first moved to LA. So literally when I jumped out here in this whole crazy place that we call Los Angeles, I took some acting classes and my acting coach was actually Keir. Keir was literally the teacher. So everybody who was in our acting class that saw us together in this film was like, yo! Yo!
Yeah, they were hyped up. They were hyped. Yeah.
They were so hyped up because I think they kind of saw this coming a little bit because we would play off each other. So Keir, I'm gonna throw you under the bus just a hair.
I don't mind. Do it.
All right. So I got nothing but love for Keir. I got nothing but love for Keir and his wife, his son. You know, I know the whole family. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like that extra person on the other side, you know, in the family. But when I met Keir, I was a model. I was a professional model, just moved here to Los Angeles. And I was trying to do this acting thing, but model kept coming out. So whenever I would come to my acting classes, you know, like I was trying to still stay reserved. I was in this box. I was used to being seen, not heard. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't used to being expected to live out loud. And I remember one acting class, Keir was always nice to me. He was never a jerk. But he was always trying to pull from me something that I wasn't ready to give. Like I was just like, bruh, like you asking too many questions right now. Like I need you to stay on your lane and I'm gonna stay in mine. You know, acting don't work like that. You know, they're gonna get all up in your business. So I remember one day, Keir knows where I'm going by now. Keir was like, come here, you. And I'm like, okay, you know, no big deal. All right, whatever. So I get up on the stage or whatever, you know, the front area of the class. And Keir's like, grab my hand. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, wait, what? You know, so he's like, grab my hand. So I'm like, all right, cool. So mind you, in my mind, I'm still doing this from a cute girl perspective. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still trying to be Miss I'm cute up in here. So I grab his hand and he's like, here's what I'm going to do. You're going to try to keep me from getting to that door. Now, mind you, Keir's a big dude. Okay. I'm like $150 wet. At that time,
I'm about 245, 250 probably.
I mean, Keir ain't, he's a solid dude. You know what I'm saying? He ain't fat. He's muscle. You know what I'm saying? So Keir technically, and he knew it. I knew it. The whole class knew it. He could have literally just did this little effort and threw me across the room. All right. So he's telling me, I want you to pull and make sure I don't make it to that door. So I'm like, okay. So I grab him by his hand, you know, and whatever. I'm doing my little cute little tug at first, whatever. And I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I'm resisting a little bit. But then he showed me his strength and he like did one little like, and it wasn't even like a lot of effort on his part. It was like this little nudge and it took me forward. So I'm like, oh, hold up. Like, you know what I mean? So
and this is all while she's doing the lines. Like I was like, do the lines.
Yeah.
But don't let me pull you out of this chair. I had her sit in the chair. And I was like, don't let me pull you out of this, but do the lines at the same time.
Right. So he's getting closer and closer to the door. And I'm like, at this point on the ground, fighting both hands. I'm trying to use all of my strength, my weight, whatever to pull him. And he's like, now, Keir, I don't know if you remember this. And I don't normally cuss, but I'm just going to say what it is. But Keir was like, you better not fucking let me get to that fucking door. I swear to God, you better not. You better not. I'm like, oh my God, he's cussing at me. So now the whole angry black girl's coming out. I'm mad now because I'm just like, what? No. So I'm trying to fight to pull him. And of course, he got to the door and I'm sitting there looking crazy on the floor like I'm like some deranged girlfriend that's like, don't leave. You know, so he gets to the door, whatever. But the point, whatever it was, because at the time I was confused, I ain't gonna lie. But whatever that was that he did, and he'll explain it better, I was never the same as an actor. I never cared.
Brought it out of you. Yeah.
Whatever doors needed to open, whatever things needed to come down, happened in that moment. I was never the same.
So like the old folks say, you know, is the push and pull. Sometimes you know you push people to exceed, go to another level, and they pull you. So that's how society is now. You know, especially in the work industry. You know, I mean, you got somebody. You know, hey, I got you back or whatever. You push me, I'll pull you. Right. You know what I mean? And then pull the best out you.
It's about, you know, and it's about urgency. You know, it was like, you know, I need you to be urgent here. I don't feel no urgency in whatever the scene was, you know, because it's like, you know, if you're not urgent, then you're not compelling. You know, people don't want to see people just kind of just talking at a soft, you know, a soft pace at a soft tone. They want to see, you know, real feelings. They want to see people. They want to see vulnerability. And I was just trying to get that urgency out of her because I knew it was there. I knew she was from the East Coast. I knew that she had urgency. You know what I mean? I knew it was in there. You know, it was just like, man, look, forget what these people think. You know, be this character. There's nobody else in the room but you. You know what I mean? Be who that. Show us who this person is. Crack that chest open. And show us the beating heart in there, you know what I mean? And she did it, and she's been, you know, killer ever since. You know what I mean? She was good before, so you know, it was all that, man. You know.
So he's the reason why. So he's giving me flowers, and I appreciate this, but like literally, he's the reason why I really kind of projected and catapulted. So when the film was presented to me, the actual director, we used to work together at CBS. Wait. Which one's the TV show? Which one's the
right, the network?
The network.
Yeah.
CBS. All right, because I'm like, I wasn't at those CBS, John. But anyway, I said John. That's John, number one. There you go.
Yeah, you go. East Coast, John.
There goes
I got my first John in. All right. I knew it was gonna come out somewhere. So I worked with him on CBS, and he promised me, the writer, he was like, I'm gonna make a movie for you. So when he looked at me, I was like, all right, cool, yeah, whatever. So I kind of ignored him. He's a little 19-year-old kid, fresh out from Nebraska or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, Nebraska. I'm like, I didn't know there was black people out there for real. So I'm like, all right, cool. I see him a couple months later. You know, I got you. I'm gonna do that movie for you. And I'm like, yeah, all right, cool, whatever. So this kind of kept going. He leaves LA and goes back to Nebraska, but he still hits me up. This was during the pandemic. He's like, trust me, I didn't forget you. I forgot. I done slipped and dipped into all kinds of other stuff. And he's still like holding on to this. I'm going to do this movie for you. And I'm like, all right, cool. You know, next thing you know, he comes back to LA about 2 years later. So this is about a year and a half ago or so. And he's like, I wrote the movie. I got the script for you. I'm like, what? Like, you did that for real? He was like, yeah. He said, I kept my word. I promised you I was going to do it. And he did. He kept his word. And he was like, who are we going to get to play the guy? I'm like, there's only one guy that will piss me off enough to get this type of reaction out of me. That's Keir. That's Keir. He was like, who's Keir? I'm like, trust me on this one. Trust me on this one. You want this. You want this. And the rest is history.
Man, thank you, Lori, so much. I'm so glad you did. You thought of me. And, you know, because it's always, as any actor can tell you, anytime you're just offered a part, you don't have to audition, or somebody's like, I wrote this with you in mind, or you know, anytime that happens, it's the most special, wonderful thing to experience as an actor in the world. And so, like, when she came to me with that, and Lori is doing big things. She's doing Marvel movies. She's doing, what I'm saying? So when somebody from the MCU comes and is like, "Hey, I want you to do this movie," like, what I'm gonna do? Say no? Like, what I'm gonna do? Be like, "Yeah, and actually, I got to get my haircut on Saturday, so I just won't be able to." You know what I mean? So it was a great, phenomenal thing. And shout out to Dustin Felder. I want to say, because I was coaching at the time when we met. I was coaching at Dustin Felder Actor Studio. Rest in peace, Dustin. Dustin was my brother. He was a fantastic, amazing acting coach here in Hollywood, man. He acting coach to the stars. And he was my mentor, and I was coaching under him when I met Lori. So shout out to Dustin, because if it wasn't for him, me and Lori may never have met. So so it's all good, man.
That's real. Dustin was ahead of his time. Dustin had it was like a whole production going on. You know what I mean? Like, he had the class for acting. He had the class for improv. He had the class for, like, if you just wanted to be dope as an MC, as an artist, whatever. Because that was KJ. KJ's.
KJ's. Yeah.
Like, helping people. KJ Rose, shout out to you. So, I mean, he like had this whole system in place, and
then he'd get people together, and we do short films, and then we'd have a showcase of short films of the students of the studio, and it was always something live and cool, man. Dustin was one of a kind, man.
Yeah. And the people that were in just your class alone, Keir, just our class, the people that were in there, they're doing Oscars now. Like, they're literally choreographers for the Oscars. Like, everybody. Will Bell. Remember Will?
Yeah, Will B. Bell, my boy. I love Will Bell, man.
Dude is like doing choreographer for, like, the Oscars now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but we was sitting and doing scene study, you know what I mean, together, you know what I mean? But, like, everyone in that class is doing their thing, everybody. So, like, this whole DFAS is what it was called, Dustin Felder
Actor Studio.
That, yep. So everybody who came out of there, honestly, everybody who came out of there is doing something. Yeah. Everybody's doing something to some level. Everybody's doing something. And then, unfortunately, Dustin passed away about 2019.
It was a couple of years ago. It was like 3 years ago or something like that. It was sudden, and it was it hurt. It hurt, man. We were all like just
shocked,
leveled, knocked out on the ground, man. But we trying to keep his legacy. Always raising his legacy up, and trying to keep him remember him and everything he did, because he was just a great dude, and he cared a lot, and he really wanted everybody to win. Like, he was like, "Yo, I'm trying to get y'all to win because I want y'all to win. I'm not trying to do this for me. I'm trying to do it for y'all because I believe in y'all." And he really did. And so it's being around somebody like that is just he was magnetic.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. He was a star in his right. He was a star.
Mm-hmm. I think that's awesome. Yeah. That in the cutthroat world of Hollywood, that you're putting out there, that even though I've spoken to Lori quite a few times about how things are out there, but as bad as it can be, that there are people like that out there who just push all that aside, and they want others to be able to achieve greatness and not just be the only one with the spotlight.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, what's the point otherwise, man? It's enough for all of us out here. We can all eat. We can all eat. Right. Yeah. What's the point in hoarding it for yourself, man? You can't take it with you.
Unless you know something that I don't know.
Right. Right. That part.
And when we actually started shooting, the movie, I remember the first thing we did was we went to the boardwalk to take the couples pictures. So a lot of the pictures that you saw in the movie on the wall, they didn't really focus in on too many, but there was pictures on the wall of us together. We went to do that first. And as we're shooting, Keir brings his wife, he brings his son, we all just kind of like, I got a moment. All right, I got 10 minutes. All right, let's meet here. So we all meet at Santa Monica Pier, and Lance is taking our pictures. So initially it was awkward because up until this point, we were just coaching student, basically, Keir and you know what I mean? But we had to now become this couple. We had to formulate and become these, I'm sorry, I was about to say Dustin, man, Brandon and Brenda. We had to become them now.
Yeah.
So I remember the first time we go to hug each other, and it was more like homies, like we homies, you know what I'm saying? So
right. And it was hilarious because my wife, she's sitting there, and because we've been together for almost 20 years, I guess. And she was with me since the start of my acting career. So she's seen me play leading man to my leading lady in many projects. And so it don't phase her no more, like Not that she's jumping up for joy, but you know, she like, hey, it is what it is. And so like she was sitting there watching us be awkward, and she was like, you know what? Let me get out of here. I'm gonna go. Me and the boy, we gonna go for a walk and let y'all do, because I'm standing here, y'all acting like, hey buddy, hey pal, how are you? You know, and it's like y'all need to look loving in these pictures. Let me go take a walk. You know, it was hilarious. It was pretty funny.
She was like, act like y'all like each other. Like,
right? Yeah, like, and y'all professionals? Like, what is this? Can y'all act like y'all like each other?
The key is not to like each other right now, because she gave me a microwave dinner. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm still on that. And as far as you care, you were slurping that wine like you just got it from the 7-Eleven. You know what I'm saying?
No, man, it was like that box wine. You know what I'm saying? That good box wine.
Right. I said, what the what? And none of it left the glass. He slurping air. What kind of crap is this?
Between every take, we kept refilling it. You know what I mean? You know, making sure we topped it off.
Keir was hard to work with because I'm supposed to be, you know, Miss Angry Black Woman here. You know what I'm saying? And in between takes, y'all didn't know what I had to work with him. So while he's sitting over there slurping, I'm supposed to look mad. You know what I mean? But deep down, I'm over there falling out laughing a couple times. I messed up the takes because it was funny. Like the part where he fell asleep at the table. I wish they expanded on that, where he fell asleep at the table and he was snoring. Yo, I lost it because he would be like, okay, and action. Keir would start snoring and I'm done. Like I could not take that part seriously. I'm like, every take he would enhance his snoring. So I'm like, bruh, come on, man.
Chopping down some trees.
Yo,
bro.
Hey, somebody moving furniture on the other side of the thing. I don't know what's going on. You're dragging dressers over there, but
listen, don't let my wife tell you. She'll be like, y'all don't even know the half. Like he was just pretending on set. Like if y'all heard him for real, man, please, I had to go sleep out in the car.
But Keir, you were absolutely phenomenal. Just the facial expressions. I think y'all miss. If you get a chance to watch it again, you miss a lot. There's so much said that's unsaid. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we had our lines, we said what we said, but like there's so many just non-verbals there, you know, just the way he looks at her when he took them shoes off and he looked at her like, oh, word, and then dropped them. Yo, I lose it every time I see that. Every time. Or just the way he poured that wine, he pokes his lips out and he's like, yeah, I'm trying to make you mad. Like, you know, there's so much said that's not said in a lot of this. So
man, it's just so fun, you know, like this job, you know, it's hard to get jobs in this industry, but if you do and if you can get paid for it, it's the best job in the world, man. You know, it's just living in someone else's shoes and experiencing life from someone else's point of view, while utilizing your life experience to make it authentic is, you know, it's something very cool, and not a lot of people get to experience on a level like that. And you know, and shout out to Lance, like the people we've shown it to. I mean, I've had some of my actor friends I've shown it to. They're like, who is he? What's his name? I want him to shoot my next film, because you know, he had all the angles he wanted, and it was edited so smoothly. And I mean, it looks fantastic. It really does look great. And that's, you know, shout out to Lance and the DP and the crew. I mean, we had a small crew, and everybody was so talented and so easy to work with and so cool and fun. And you know, it was a good night. We shot it all in one night, like all night long.
Really?
We started in the evening, and then we didn't stop until like it was light outside, till the sun was coming up. And it was just it was exhausting, but it was amazing. It was awesome experience.
Very authentic. Very authentic.
So you said, you know, this is fun. So on average, what is a set like? That's what I want to know. On average, this one was somebody that you were familiar with, and I know I'm guessing, I don't know. I'm guessing that there are a lot of times that you're going to work with people that you don't know as well, and you don't have that rapport, but that's when the acting skills kick in, and it makes it seem like you're whatever has been written. So what's the average mood when it comes to working? What's that like?
Everybody's always going to bring their A game. Everybody's always going to come in pretty positive. You know, it's a work environment. I think people need to remember that first. People remember that first and foremost, it's a business. So the business aspect of it, where you come in, you're going to a job. So the same way you punch in, you know, you're not going to come into your job with your attitude. You know, you're not going to bring a whole bunch of foolishness. You're going to come in on time and be ready. All that stuff that goes into play here. And of course, you have some people who are more A-list, or, you know, who they kind of have a little bit more leeway and they kind of do. But at the most, even they have a level of respect that they're expected to walk in as well. They need to come in and still have their lines prepared, you know, and be polite, be professional, whatever it is that we need to do, because we're working around a bunch of people for a lot of hours in many cases. You may be there for 16 hours. You have to cooperate at the very least with people, you know. So you want to make it fun. You want to make it a happy experience. For the most, I think people try. Every now and then you might get an uptight set, you know, but if you need your actors to perform, especially if they're carrying the show, like they're the leads or whatever, or have, you know, significant lines, you want them to be in a place where they're comfortable enough to act out their scenes. You need them to be in a space where they're comfortable. At least, I mean, that's just my take, because I know Keir's going to come in and say something probably slightly different, which isn't it isn't true. It isn't untrue. It's basically, you know, each experience is based on the person, I believe.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. It's, you know, dealing with artists, you know, collaborating with artists, you know, is in general, it's an awesome thing. But then, you know, every now and then it can be irritating when you're dealing with somebody who, like, you know, Lori was just talking about dealing with professionals. When you have a group of professionals, then, you know, the work doesn't seem like work. It sails through. But when you have every now and then somebody who comes in who's really not professional, somebody, you know, who's a diva or late or rude, or, you know, complaining, and, you know, like when you deal with people like that, because you will deal with people like that every now and then, you know, that can be annoying and frustrating. But, you know, as you know, if you're number one on the call sheet, you know, or number two, you know, if you're leads in something, you know, you have to set a precedent. You have to come to set and show that you have character, that you have dignity, and that, you know, so that everyone can follow your lead. Because if you're the number one on the call sheet coming in and you're an a-hole, you know, that derails the whole train. You know, you gotta show everybody, you know, you gotta set the tempo as the lead of whatever you're doing. And you know, I've worked with actors who were frustrating, and it was just a pain. It was just a pain in the ass the whole time, man. It was like, man, I never want to be like that, you know, because these are long hours, and the crew, these are hard-working people. This crew is working really, really hard to make you look good. And, you know, if you coming in there complaining and bitching and moaning and late, and you don't know your lines. Now everybody has to, you know, this day is even longer now. This is already like a 12-hour day now, or 16-hour day. Now it's even longer because you haven't done your work and prepared, and you don't know your lines.
Preach.
So when you do get around professionals who are actually who happen to be awesome people too, and you know that you're gonna have like it's gonna be hard work, but it's gonna be fun hard work, because, you know, Lori is so cool and me and her joking around in between takes. But when between action and cut, though, we about the business.
Right.
We about the business between action and cut. And then after that, ha key.
Right.
You know, that's what you want. That's what you want. That's what you're looking for when you come to set. You know, you want to enjoy the artists that you work with, and you want to be in awe of them. You want to be in awe, and so it pushes you, and it motivates you to be better, because you like, oh man, Lori is killing. Lori killed her close up. Man, I got to kill, man. Hold on. I can't let Lori just be in here killing it, and I'm just like, you know, mediocre. You know what I mean? Like you want to make it happen.
Right.
So I think I get what you're saying. So you're basically you feed off each other like that. The energy is just gets to the point where if one is going off, sometimes I guess maybe the ego says, I'm not gonna let you outdo me. Now I got to bring my A. If you brought your A game, I got to bring my A+ game. Yeah. I'm not gonna have me sitting there looking like Willie Lump, Joe Sausage Head.
Right.
We gotta.
Not in a hating way though. Not in
a hating way, but
in a way of like, yo, I love what you're doing. You push
Right.
me to be better, and I want
Right.
to do something that you love and pushes you to do better. So we both, out of love, out of positivity, are making each other better and making this whole thing better.
Like my man G said, iron sharpening iron. G said that from day one when we started this podcast. Iron sharpens iron.
Absolutely.
So
nothing's worse than to see yourself in a production in any way where you're the one that didn't come prepared. You're the one that your A game wasn't there. Now you look stupid. Do you see what I mean?
Right.
Everybody came in. Keir knows what I'm talking about. Everybody came in. They got their lines. Everybody's killing it. They serving. They doing what they got to do. And then you come in and your lines is weak, or your part was weak. Not because your character, was built to be a certain way, but because you were not prepared.
Yeah.
Because you were not taking this seriously. So yeah, it depends on you actually as coming in to any of these sets. You got to come in prepared, ready to work and ready to bring it, or it's going to show in your.
So one of the situations in which you meet somebody and you be like, I bet we about to do this.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah, plenty of times. Then when you meet another actor and your chemistry off the bat is like boom, you get hyped up. You're like, oh man, me and so and so gonna kill it because we like our energy is off the bat, like is knocking it out of the park. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's always exciting.
So question, right? So Lori or Keir, you can answer this question. So we're in a work world, as far as working in business and corporate businesses and stuff like that. And we always the practice was leave your work at work and leave your home problems at home. So with this situation going on in the world today with the politics, 45 and Biden, the George Floyd situations and stuff like that, and how can you mentally prepare yourself and act, not bringing that situation on the set, or maybe some Joe Blow from a different nationality, come out of pocket. Did you ever dealt with that situation before?
You want to go first here?
Well, I was gonna say that acting is interesting in that you actually, depending on what you're working on and the appropriateness of if it connects, you actually do want to bring in that stuff because you want to use it to make what you're doing more authentic and more real. So you do kind of bring some of that. You bring that real. I mean, even especially with this movie, like me and Lori, like I said, me and Lori, we're in our 40s. We've been in relationships, and so we, you have to bring what you've experienced, and not just the good stuff, the painful stuff, the sad stuff, the all those things. You have to bring all of that and connect to it, so that the character is fully three-dimensional and has weight. You want the character to have gravity. You want people, because that is the only thing that will compel the audience. That's the only thing that'll keep them with the glued to their seats. If they see, because the audience, as an actor, I always say this in class, it's like, as an actor, the audience is not there to see you.
Right.
They're there to see themselves. People watch TV, people go to movies. They don't go to see you as an actor. They go to see themselves. And the actor that does that the best, the actor that shows them a mirror of themselves with the most authenticity and the most and most preciseness, those are the ones that audiences love and they can't get enough of. And so you do want to use some of that stuff. But then also, if it's not appropriate to what's going on, as an actor, you got to understand how to compartmentalize. And you might be having a bad day, your relationship, you might have had an argument with your spouse or your partner that morning, but you got to come and do this real happy-go-lucky scene at work today because that's what's on the schedule. And so as an actor, you got to know, you got to be able to compartmentalize that and push that to the side, and then bring in these happy feelings and use those, and show that you have skill. Like, you have to have a skill. Like, it's always annoys me. Like, nothing. I have nothing against method actors or method acting. It's a great tool. I have nothing against it. But sometimes I feel like it could be a crutch that some actors, like, they have to do that to really to perform. And like, for me, sometimes it's like, yeah, but like, where's your skill? You like, there should be some skill involved here. Like, you should be able to like flip. Well, depending on how intense emotionally a scene is, like you should be able to go and flip like a light switch on and off. You should, between action and cut, you should be able to flip on and off whatever's going on, whatever you're doing, because you should know what's going on in the scene that well. You should know your character that well. You should be able to your skill and your technique should be able to win over any obstacle that you're faced with. You shouldn't have to, well, I have to actually feel this. No, you don't. You don't have to feel shit as an actor.
What is my motivation? Money.
You don't have to actually feel anything, but you have to know what you're doing and how to express it in a way the audiences recognize.
See, and now y'all know why now y'all know why he was my coach.
Okay.
Now y'all get it. Y'all get it. Y'all get it. See?
Yeah, I can relate to that because when I'm at work and them stink people come through sometime, and I might be a little cranky, but I turn it on, I get the smile. They're like, "You're so chipper." I'm like, "Yeah," and I'm hoping to get you out of here because you take that smell with you. But you know, do you guys go through that? Now that's a good one. Have you ever worked with somebody with bad hygiene? I want to know all the dirt.
Well, I would never say anybody by name, but yes,
don't say it by name, but
I have. That's happened before. You know.
Oh, yeah, some funk bandits. Okay.
Yeah, right. In many ways, yes. Hey, that's just the job, you know. But you do hope that people will take care of that and make sure they're as hygienic as they possibly can be. Because sometimes it don't happen.
Matter of fact, here's a quick question. Is there a role is there a role that you would not play that go against your morals?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Go ahead,
I'm definitely not. I don't think I need to be the over the top sexualized sexual, you know, I'm having sex scenes left and right. You know, I don't need to be the girl with the seriously dirty mouth all the time. You know, like I don't need to do that. Like in my case, I have a son. I have a grown son, you know, and at the end of the day, I don't want something crazy getting back to my grown son and his friends. And they like, yo, that's your mom right there. You know what I mean? Like you gotta, as a woman, as a Black woman, we have enough out there in our society to choose from. If sex and all that, you know, sexing you out stuff is what y'all into, you got a plethora of women out there to do that. It ain't gonna be me. You know, I've decided. Have I done those dumb things in the past? Absolutely. I've been there and I've done that. And it doesn't pay, you know, to do it. And I don't mean like real pay money, but it doesn't pay to do it, you know, because you're always looking over your shoulder now. Is that going to get out? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not that person anymore. I don't want that to be seen. So as for me now, yeah, all that wilding out stuff that we see that's like perpetuated on TV, I don't want to do that. So if I do work with someone, I will ask if I can, you know, maybe instead of saying those curse words, can I say something else? I'll ask if I can, you know, or I'll just completely deviate from the whole sexual thing. Like I know, and when I first got here, my hair was short. So Hollywood kept trying to put me as a lesbian, period. No shade to nobody. Whatever you do, do you, boo boo. I'm not in your bedroom. But that wasn't for me. That wasn't for me. I'm not a lesbian, so I'm not willing to play that part. But Hollywood kept pushing that because in their mind, if you're a Black woman with short hair, you're a lesbian. Period. In
What
their
the
mind,
what?
Oh no. Keir knows what I'm talking about. And like there's a reason why you see Black women the same way perpetuated. There's a reason why you see certain people perpetuated because in their mind, in Hollywood's mind, that's how we see you. Women with short hair aren't sexy. Women with short hair are borderline butch. You know, they gay. So that's how you're gonna see them a lot of times in detective, doctor, not doctor, well maybe doctor, detective, doctor, cop, you know, type roles. You're gonna, and that's what that's what I got because I was like in their mind too hard. But then I got some hair and it's like, oh, well, maybe you sexy. Now we want to start taking your clothes off. You know, now we want you to be naked. So that's just me. I'm not. Yeah.
No, I'm feeling that. And yeah, man, we all have our, everybody should have a line that they don't cross. Everybody should. Now, I won't say anything about any, you know, actors, if they want to explore all the facets of humanity, then as an actor, that's an attractive thing, and I understand that. But for me, my own and what I believe and what I would do, I definitely would try to stay away from emasculating roles. I think that there is enough emasculation of Black men. There are not enough masculine leading images of Black men on screen. I'm not hating on anybody. Like, there's the age old, controversial discussion about Black men in dresses. You know what I mean? And
I was gonna go there.
There's you got to go there. You got to go there, man. There's arguments either way. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, look, I love Martin, man, and I love when Martin played his mama. Man, me and my wife would sit and howling through the night watching old Martin runs when he played his mama, or when he played Shanae or whatever. You know what I mean? Right. But then there are other people where you might be like, oh man, why you got to wear that dress, man? Da da da. And there is a stigma, and it does seem like that it is a rite of passage for Black male actors to like go to the next level. Like it seems like they gotta wear a dress at some point to be able to go to that next level. That's what it seems like. I'm not saying that's 100%, but it happens a lot. And my thing is, I'm not about wearing a dress for any reason. I also I've played a gay character before. A friend of mine, Cassandra, she wrote a short film, and she had me play the role of this guy who was on the down low, and it was like it's just drama between him and his wife. I played Tammy Mack from KJLH. She played my wife, and he had this thing where he was on the down low. But I told her, she asked me if I would play it. And I said, okay, well, I don't have a problem playing a gay man in this, but I was like, I will not be physically intimate with another man in no way, shape, or form. Like she was like, oh no, there's no scenes like that. I was like, okay, well, fine, because it's like I'm not jumping to play gay roles, but I like gay men, they're human beings, and if I can show a gay man a masculine gay man, because I know more masculine gay men than I know gay men who are, more flamboyant, and so it's like, if I'm going to do that, I got to do what I know what's real to me. And always what I want to portray, because there are so many portrayals and so many, there's so much emasculation of Black men. It's like, right. I don't ever want to come on screen and be an emasculated Black man ever. So even if I do play or I have played a gay role, that he was masculine. And as far as like wearing a dress, I'm not for wearing a dress, but that's me. I'm not hating on anybody. If you're right. An artist, artist, and that speaks to you, and that's what you want to do, man, do what you got to do. Exactly. But I feel like there's enough of that. I don't need to contribute to that. I want to contribute to the masculine, heterosexual, leading, God-fearing Black man who chooses his Black woman, and and wants that to be a leader in his home and leader to his woman, and he wants a submissive woman, a woman who's submissive to him because he comes to her with respect. He provides security. He provides financially. She feels safe with him, so she feels safe to be submissive to him. That I want to promote that as much as possible, because there's just not enough of that no more.
That just brought the question. I was just about to ask you that question, whether in Hollywood we haven't seen it a lot over the years. I mean, we're all pretty much in the same age group, and we remember what we've seen growing up. Right. And we were always in the hood, like and Robert Townsend kind of like brought it to our site with Hollywood Shuffle. Go Jerry Curl, go Jerry Curl. Yeah. And in this age, being that we're fast forwarding now to the time that we're in, do you see more roles like that being offered, or is it about the same?
What do you think, Lori?
You mean is it more roles?
for men not being emasculated, the
Oh.
strong black men. I mean, is it more big Hollywood or like smaller production companies that will promote that?
I don't think I see it personally.
You don't see. Okay.
I don't think I see it. I think like kind of big Hollywood. I'm not really I want to be careful in my answer, but like I'm not really I'm not really.
You can skip it if you want.
No, I'll just say I'm not really. I think we could do better.
Okay.
Do better for what's out there right now. I think we could do a lot better, not just for men but women too. I think we can do a lot better as a culture, as Black people. I think like from Hollywood Shuffle time to right now, we didn't have nearly as many things back then as we do now. I mean, we own studios now. You know what I'm saying? Like we're literally head of corporations and stuff now. You know what I mean? So the shucking and jiving stuff that we was kind of having to kind of do back then, it shouldn't even be on the table anymore. You know? It should be so far behind us, or at least an aspect of us. We should have categories of aspects. Like, okay, if you want the crazy shoot 'em up, crazy stuff like that, all right, that's that category. But if you want something a little more sophisticated, whatever, that's this category. I think I would love to see more of that. I don't know if I'm answering the question, but that's at least where my mind is.
You know what I think? I think that at this point, there is a lot more variety than we give ourselves credit for. There's a lot, like if you look on streaming and on social media and there are a lot of productions with a lot of Black actors doing a lot of different roles now. And it's more just about like, what do you want to see and what do you want to promote? It's for me, I get frustrated on social media and in society and with Black people where we're doing a lot of complaining about what we don't want to see and what we don't like, but we're not promoting what we do like, because it's like, it's out there. There's a lot of shows where there's a lot of Black actors working on, it's not just like the 3 networks anymore. There's cable stations, there's streaming stations with a lot of productions, with a lot of Black actors working in a lot of different sci-fi, period pieces, LGBTQ pieces. There's like action heroes. There's a lot going on, and it's like I think that we get so focused on complaining about what we don't like instead of being like, yo, but wait, so and so is starring in this. And then so and so is starring in this, and it's wow. I've never seen a Black woman play this, this period piece in the 1700s in England. Wow, why aren't we promote that? Why? And also like we don't have to. And another thing, we don't have to keep making everything we do about the struggle. Like I'm so tired of seeing like these movies about the struggle and the civil rights and the white man and the da. Man, put us in movies. I want to see sci-fi movies with us in the future. Yeah. I want to see movies with us living and growing and being prosperous. Like, focus on what we want to see. Stop making all these movies. I mean, make what you want as an artist. There are many stories that need to be told. But we will focus more on what we want than what we don't want, than what we're trying to like putting these stories out about all these horrible atrocities that we've gone through. Like, of course, those things need to be told. We need to hear about those things. But like the focus on it, it keeps us in this level of feeling like victims, and that we're victims, and that we're like there's no way we can level up or be anything, when it's like there's so many examples of Black excellence out here that we're not highlighting.
That's the key word. That's the key word. We need to be highlighting more of the Black excellence stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
What seems to be too highlighted is a lot of the negative stuff. And that was one of the things we talked about when we were putting this movie together. I was the angry Black woman in this episode, but I'm not going to be angry Black woman every episode. You know what I mean? Right. There's going to be, and I emphasize that to the director, like, no, she can't remain there. She was mad this time, but the next time he can be mad. There's something about him that he's not going to like that I'm going to be like, all right, well, it's no big deal. You know what I mean? So let's have some variation here. Let's not get stuck into the status quo and perpetuate a problem that is already kind of happening out there in society enough as it is.
Yeah, to show the actual range of human life.
Lori, let me say this. I don't feel like you were an angry black woman in this movie. I don't feel that at all. I feel like you were very justified. Your character was justified in how she felt and what was going on in that relationship and how she felt neglected from Brandon. And I don't feel like she's an angry black woman. And that's something else we got to stop doing that to our black women who are having they're humans with emotions. And in very valid situations. And it's like, you know, they don't say it about white women when they get angry. They don't call them angry white women. You know, when like Latina women get heated, they don't call them angry. I mean, they do call them spicy, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's more of a term of endearment, you know, and it's seen as sexy or cute. Whereas like when black women have valid emotions about what's going on and how they're being treated, we knock it off as, oh, she's just angry ass black woman. Well, why shouldn't she be angry in this situation? There's things going on that should be corrected. You know what I mean? So, but Lori, I feel you though. I would love for the next one for you to be lighthearted and we could vote or whatever. You know what I mean?
But this is what we did. This is what we did the whole time. We went to bat for each other in this whole movie. If we're going to agree to this, if we're going to jump into this, we're not going to perpetuate what was, you know, like we're going to show life, we're going to show real situations, and it's going to be varied. It's going to be, you know, one episode I might be super happy-go-lucky or whatever like that, or, you know, more lighthearted like Keir just said. And sometimes I might not be, you know, sometimes he might be, sometimes he might not be, but let's not get locked into one set thing. You know, we're responsible here. We're responsible for what we're putting out.
How common is that? Oh, go ahead, Lori.
I mean, I think it happens often. I think everyone puts their input in, but I think when the money starts coming in, this is just me being super real. When the money starts coming in, I think people follow the money. So if you know, sex scene number 20, whatever, such and such happened, and that was really popping, guess what you're gonna start seeing more of? You know, if killing this person and the anger and the rage and, you know, the violence and all that stuff really got the ratings going, guess what you're going to see more of?
Because I do know one actress that I met in my youth before she became an actress. It seemed like everything that she's in, there's a sex scene involved. And I'm like, okay. And she, I don't know whether it's being typecast or,
Who it is?
Hey, did you get her number?
I had it back in the days. Lala. You know, Lala, Carmelo's wife?
Yeah. She done got her teeth clapped by Tommy Emmett.
See?
Yeah. Tommy
and on The Shy. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, is that her allure to when it comes to the film industry? That she's gonna be that chick kind of in the hood, kind of has some smarts, but somebody gonna get that.
I have a question, if you don't mind. And I was trying to just get a feel for everything that was going on, and I apologize and not knowing what actually was coming on or coming into. But you know, as Martin Luther King says, it's all right to tell a man to lift himself up by his bootstraps. But it's a disservice to just say to a bootless man that he ought to lift himself up by his bootstraps. And in that regard, how do you, when you come into situations like that, to be able to have the confidence to say no? How do you know if you're ever going to have an opportunity again? And just like the young lady was saying, there are some things that she did in the past that she will not do now, but there were some things that I imagine she had to sacrifice, and some things we all have to do at some points in order to get to a point where we can make changes. But how do you, as a minority, even come into the world of the movie industry? How do you come across these castings? How do you go to the right places to be able to have your presentation, if that makes sense at all, to say that this is something I'd like to consider doing as my career as an actor.
It makes perfect sense. You got to stay true to yourself. I think a lot of people come to here to Hollywood, and the first thing they want to do is they just want to make it so bad. I'll do anything. I'll take anything. I'll jump in. And they may not necessarily be saying I'm going to take my clothes off, but they are agreeing to, okay, I got this opportunity. Let's take it. And the next thing you don't care, you know this to be true. Next thing you know, that kissing scene, that little, just kiss him might turn into, okay, well, kiss him like this, or and the next thing you know, you in a hucklebuck with somebody. You like, wait, hold up. I just thought we was kissing. Like, how'd I get in here with no clothes on? You know what I'm saying? So Hollywood will push that envelope. You just got to stay true to what you want. When I came here to LA, I was a model, like I said. And as a model, they didn't take me serious at all. They literally looked at me and was like, cute. So they pretty much brushed me off. Here, in comes Keir, who kind of had to curve a lot of that, help me curve that. But I taught Hollywood how to treat me. So when I came in here, I knew I got to stick to the type of characters and the type of roles that I know I'm not going to end up naked in. I'm not going to end up, in some over the top sexual, crazy, whatever type thing. I got to pay attention to that. So what I started doing was I started fighting. I started doing MMA fight scenes. I started training as a boxer, as a boxer here in LA. I started being on TV shows like that. And then I would promote myself like that. Hollywood doesn't always see you as you are. Hollywood sees you as it sees you. So you have to sometimes show them who you want them to see. You have to create the image for them. You have to let them see, I want to be a fighter. So for me, I don't mind the sci-fi stuff. You can make me absolutely butt naked, but I'm painted from head to toe in some sort of prosthetics or whatever like that. Not naked like you can see me naked, but you know what I mean? Like I'm in some sort of suit, like character, like playing some sort of creature. I'll do that. I'll do that because I'm covered up. But I have to show LA, I have to show Hollywood, this is who I am. This is what I want to be. This is the lane I want to be in. So you're kind of teaching them how to treat you. But yeah, you take a lot of hits when you start turning down some stuff. And after a while, they just won't even send it to you because they're going to already know, you ain't going. But you're going to take some hits. You're going to take some financial losses, but you got to stick true to yourself. Because if you disrespect and dishonor yourself for a couple dollars out here, they're going to definitely disrespect you. And I think that goes back to answer what you just said about your friend. And that's all I'm going to say right there.
Everything Lori said is absolutely true. It's about knowing who you are and not lowering yourself to any level because you think it's going to make you successful. Because you got to get up and look at yourself in the mirror every day. You know what I mean? And I think when we all started, we have these big dreams, and you don't know the industry yet. You don't know the pitfalls, and you open yourself up to do kind of anything. And I think a lot of and in defense of like you mentioned Lala and other people, in defense of those people, man. Look, if that's what you do, if that's the kind of artist you are, and you're like, man, I want to show my body, I want to be this, I want to do that, I think that's okay. I don't put those kind of actors down.
Oh, no, never that.
Or anything like that. Because it's like, again, it's enough for all of us to eat. This is what we want. We want variety. We want Black people. This is why I get frustrated a lot of times when Black people will get mad at conservative Blacks. When conservative Black people, when people come down on them, when it's like, well, isn't this what we wanted? We wanted to have a variety of Black people where we're not a monolith, where we can live and choose whatever lives that we want to choose. And so even with acting, if you are that kind of actor where you will do ratchet things and show your body, okay, do your thing. Ain't nobody mad at you. But it's like, what we want is like, don't focus everything on those kind of actors. Give focus to other actors who don't want to do that. Like, show us a variety. Don't just show us all one thing. Because the problem is they feed us all this one thing, and we think that Black people are a monolith and they're only one way. And like, you can only be really Black if you ghetto and ratchet. That's being real. That's being real Black. Like, that's not what that is. That's not the entirety of black people. That is a certain section. That's not who the real blacks are. That's just a certain section of black people, and they deserve to, like, be treated like human beings too. Anybody, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not about coming down on people, but it is about like, know who you are and know that, like, this business will take advantage of you and will not give a shit about you and will chew you up and spit you out. And they won't care about your feelings. They won't care about your dignity. They won't care about nothing. So who's the one that has to do that? You got to do that.
Just like the regular world in any other job. Yeah. They don't care nothing about. They'll replace you in a heartbeat.
Right. They will. And they don't care. They just want all they care about is the money and the bottom line. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about your integrity as an artist. They don't care. So I
have a question for both of you. When you got to Hollywood and you began acting, what was your biggest misconception when you first got into the game like that?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
That's a good question. I think kind of, for me, it was kind of what I was just talking about in thinking that people cared about you, because a lot of them don't. And it's the longer you are in the business and the longer you trudge through and you experience people, you start to see who are actually the real ones. You start to see who are actually people that actually do, like, they're doing their job, but they do have empathy, and they do have they're not interested in tearing you down as a human. They want to build you up. And so you try to gravitate towards people like that, because they do exist, but you got to weed through the rest of the bottom feeders who don't give a shit about you and will just use you to build themselves up for their own gain.
Okay.
I think the part that the misconception I had was that it's a show and it's really a business. Hollywood is a business first. The show comes after. The show is what you guys get entertained from, but the people that are in it, we deal with the business aspect of it, the money that gets handled, the politics of it, this everything that comes with it. As far as that, I had no idea. I was not prepared for that. I thought if you're just beautiful and you're just good enough and you take those classes and you got it going, you're gonna get the job, and that ain't always the case.
Yeah.
That ain't always the case at all.
And the level I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, I know a lot of super, 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 super talented actors right now that you don't know nothing about.
Mm-hmm.
And then
the level of competition, I didn't even like, because everybody comes to LA. A lot of times you come from where you're a big fish in a small pond, wherever your hometown is. Like, you were like the man, you were the woman, and when you was in your hometown, you was killing it. But then you come to LA and you become this small fish in a big pond, and you realize that, like, these mugs are really hustling to make this happen. The level of competition in Hollywood is crazy, and you have to set yourself apart. And it's like, you think about people who have insane work ethics. You think about Will Smith. He didn't just fall on top of the mountain. His work ethic was crazy. Michael Jordan's work ethic is crazy. It's almost psychotic. These people are they're psychos.
Seriously.
But if you want to win at that level, then that's how you got to be. And so it's like, I'm not saying everybody's built like that, because they're not. And I'm not saying everybody should be like that. But you have to understand that if you're gonna be in this business, your work ethic has to level up 15, 20, 30, 50 times. Because if you think that, like, you're just your charm, and like Laura was saying, that your charm and your looks are gonna get you across here, man, everybody's got charm and looks. It's Hollywood.
For real.
You know what I mean? Like,
for real.
Small town where only a few people had charm and looks. So you thought you were special. But then you get to Hollywood and you like, wait, everybody got charm and looks. So like, what do I have that's gonna set me up over them and push me up to the next level?
Okay.
So I got a question. So you'll talk about culture. You know, our culture is very, very funny, especially when, you know, actors and actresses take these roles. Like, people still mad at Blair Underwood, you know, the scenes he did, you know, and then Kevin James, you know, he took that role in Becky, you know, he did a skinhead scene, you know. Everybody's so used to seeing him being the mall cop or what's the movie with him and Will Smith?
Hitch.
Fritz. And then, you know, we got you know, what's his name? You know, Denzel, you know, playing Lorenzo. How he had to go down that dark road to play Lorenzo. You know, Omari Harwood playing Ghost, and Zoe Saldana playing Kalina in Colombia. And, you know, these, you know, our culture is very funny. So we still casting stones and people, you know, these make believes, you know, in our culture, we see it, you know, like my man said, you know, we see ourselves when, you know, we go and see ourselves, and some people take it to that level. I mean, going to the airport, I mean, how would you feel, you know, you did a role and, you know, and somebody just walked up to you at the airport, start fussing with you, or, you know, I mean, how would you react to that, you know?
Oh, you mean because they got deep into your character?
Yeah.
That kind of comes with the territory, I guess, huh? Yeah, it just kind of comes with the territory. You know, some people usually most people will check themselves and be like, you know, I'm sorry. I love the character. You know, I was those type of way about, you know, they'll try to explain it, you know, to you, whatever. But that's a sign of a good actor. Mm-hmm. If I can get you to evoke some sort of feelings, if I can get you to understand where I come from, what I'm saying in this part, I did my job. Okay. So if people are coming at you that kind of way, you know, kind of crazy like that, I mean, of course you don't want to get hurt. You don't want nobody getting hurt, but that just mean that character did the job. Like, people still mad at Danny Glover from The Color Purple. You know what I'm saying? This day and age, he would be dead by now. Like, come on, let it go. It's over. Let it go.
So.
No, man, I agree. But I also think it's so funny to me, like, when it's still in this day and age, after we've seen generations and generations of movie stars and of actors who were, you know, known for one genre and then went and did another genre, and people were like, oh my God, I didn't know he could do that. I didn't know she could do that. And it's like, well, yeah, they're an actor. They are talented. Like, yeah, just because, you know, this one role is what blew them up and is the most successful, they may be playing some comedian on the show. Like, that's not the only thing that they can do a lot of times. And to be honest, you know, comedy is a lot harder than drama in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Like, comedy is way harder. So it's like, to see a comedian do well at drama is really not surprising. It's when a dramatic actor can do well at comedy. Yes. That's more surprising than when a comedian can do drama, because comedy is so subjective and it's so hard. I always say, you know, because I do a little bit of stand-up. I'm still an open micer, but I've done some stand-up shows, and stand-up is hard and it's awesome and it's fulfilling. But I said, man, there are so many stand-up comedians who, you know, had the opportunity to break into acting and become actors. And you see, like, when they're on TV shows on the lower third, it'll say actor, comedian, so and so. And I was like, man, look, if I ever got good at stand-up and was like, actually could really be like, hey, I'm actually a stand-up comedian, man, if I went on shows, I'd be like, look, on my lower third, put comedian / actor, because being a stand-up was way harder than being an actor, because that's all you. That is, you're up there. You're the writer, director, editor, producer, everything. When you a stand-up, it is all on you, and you have to make everything happen. When you're acting in a show or a theater project or film, you're collaborating with everyone and you're doing your thing, but it's still your collaboration. stand up, it's all you. It's very hard to be a good stand up comedian. And like I said, like people shouldn't be surprised when they see when an actor is good at something, whether it's comedy or drama, and then they move over and they're good at something else. I'm always shocked at, like, why are you shocked? Like, this person is a talented actor. They know how to play different characters.
So
okay. Go ahead.
I'm trying to use my time because, you know, I leave to go to work, you know, all that good stuff. You know, part of Jamaican mind, you know, I got 10 jobs, huh? But anyway.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Hey. So, oh, man, you lost train of thought. So, TV shows, Lori, she hit the nail on the head, said, you know, Hollywood is a business, right?
Yeah.
So the TV show called Found, you know, young lady, she's from South Carolina, Sonora Hampton. You know, she plays Gabby. She goes out and finds folks, you know, who's missing or, you know, stuff like that. Okay, TV shows running fine. Just a Black woman, have a support cast to help find and missing people. Now they came out with Tracker, the same concept. Only difference is you got a white guy. His name is Justin Harley.
A wonderful person.
Justin Harley, yeah.
Yeah, it's a wonderful person, but he's doing the same concept, but he's getting paid. You know, he's getting reward from that. So I understand his business. So now you're driving a wedge between us. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you look at the show and you're like, wait a minute. This woman, you see a strong Black woman having a support cast that help find folks. Then you have this, you know, white guy, wonderful person, and he's doing it by himself, and he's reaping the benefits for rewards. So I understand the business, but what about telling people, you know, out here?
Same concept.
Say again?
Yeah.
Same concept, lower pay.
Oh. Well, I mean, I think, I think that that's a complicated issue. It's not as kind of black and white, no pun intended, as it seems. You know, the thing about it is, like, you know, Justin, who is coming off of like one of the most successful TV shows of all time. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, people know him, they know his face, they know he was on This Is Us. Like, he was it was a huge television show. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's not surprising that somebody who comes off a project like that can ask for more money, you know. Mm-hmm. And that show with the Black actors, I forget her name right now. I'm sure she's amazingly talented, and I'm sure the show is great. I mean, it's not, that concept of a show like that is not, you know, that's been done. So it's like, I wouldn't say that like they're copying per se, but I mean, the point is, like, with where Justin comes from, he's got a name. He's a name. He's made a mark in show business already, so he can command more money. Whereas she might not have. She hasn't made that mark just yet. Hopefully, this show will do that, and she'll make that mark. And then the next thing she does, or as the show gets more popular and gets more successful, she can start asking for more money. You know what I mean? So yeah. I think it's not. It's not a black and white issue sometimes.
Okay.
Business. It's business.
Yeah, it's a business.
Well, that's why I said business. Yeah, business. Yeah.
It's kind of similar to what the social media has put out with Living Single and Friends. The similarities.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and they cheated them.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's one of those things, man, where like, yeah, it's tough, man. We'll let that sit. We'll let that simmer on the stove right there. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. You know, this is your bread and butter. We not trying to, because once you put this stuff out there, it's out there. Let us say it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I say it's not black and white. It's beautiful and wonderful.
Yeah.
Beautiful people and wonderful people. That's how we do it.
Like I said, okay, in this situation, just like we were talking about that just now, that's a great topic, and I'm glad we got to talk about it. But what I was saying, let's start, promoting that woman's show. Let's promote her show. Let's, instead of talking about, oh man, she not getting this and she not getting that. How about let's just, her show is amazing. She's amazing on it. Y'all got to watch this every Thursday night, whatever it is. Like, let's get that energy instead of comparing.
Yeah.
It is, because when you compare, then you also giving shout out advertisement
to the other show.
When it's like, I get that. Just like, Coca-Cola never, and this is not, nothing against Pepsi. I like Coca-Cola, I like Pepsi, I like both of them. But Coca-Cola never has to mention Pepsi ever.
No.
Because Coca-Cola is number one, and they've been number one for a long time, and they don't have to mention Pepsi because they're number one. Why would they mention somebody when they're number one? They just all they'd have to do is keep promoting themselves and promote what they do. So
makes sense.
That's the kind of thing that we need to start doing. Like, start promoting yourself, and you don't have to worry about. Stop talking about what you don't want. Talk about what you do want.
And make it happen.
There you go.
Problems and solutions. That's how we do in the Funky Uncles. We got problems. We come up with solutions. Just had to put in the work to make that happen. Now, speaking of work, as I said to you earlier, I did see the block. Was it
trilogy?
Yeah, the block. Yeah, the trilogies. You guys gonna have to check that out. I'm not even gonna tell you, but I know that the joint that you had, I didn't see it coming until the very end. But before that, I did not see that coming. I was like, oh, dip. But before you came around the corner, I was like, oh, I bet it's him. I bet it's him.
Don't give away too much. Don't give away too much. But yeah,
I don't give away too much. But
it's wild. It's wild. The Block Trilogy is wild, man. And I was glad to be a part of that project. And it's streaming now on Tubi. The Block Trilogy. It's got a great cast. And and it's
I'm sorry. It's called. I'm sorry. Is it called? You said the Block.
It's called the Block Trilogies. Like the block in the neighborhood. Like the Block Trilogy.
Okay.
And it's
the homie Glenn Plummer. I'm a fan of Glenn Plummer. Everything, whatever he's in, I don't know. Glenn Plummer's that dude. Ever since OG Bobby Johnson, and Love beat the hell out of me. I don't know how many of y'all saw Love beat the hell out of me, but I love that movie. I'm gonna look for that tonight before I go to bed. Watch me. But
that just sounds funny. I'm gonna beat the hell out of me.
But let me tell you how crazy it was. How I stumbled upon it. I went to the video store. It shows you how long ago it was. And I was supposed to be getting Love and Basketball, but somebody put the wrong tape in the case, and I didn't realize until I got home. And you know how we do. Well, I already rented it. Before I take it back, I'm gonna watch it and tell them I got the wrong tape. And I was like, "Yo, this is tight." And it has Glenn Plummer, Terrence Howard is also in it. But we gonna promote us because that's one of our movies. Love beat the hell out of me. Y'all watch that now. Miss Lori, I was telling Kwame that earlier that you were in one of Scarface's videos. To tell us some of the things that you've been in.
Oh wow!
Oh man, do we have time for that? We got another hour.
We're gonna have to shorten it up because I know the list is like from here to
longer than your arm.
Yeah, deep. No, I did Grey's Anatomy. That's where I got my first speaking line. Miss Debbie Allen literally picked me out. She walked in the room and she looked at me. She said, "You stand right here, say this, do this." I'm like, oh. And literally it happened just like that. Next thing you know, Jesse Williams is directing me. And he's like in my ear. Mind you, I had a big crush on him back in the day. Not at the time, but back in the day. So it was like, somebody you was formerly crushing on in your ear directing you. You know what I mean? Like, tell you, don't go big. You know how you do. Like, I was like, oh, it's Keir Point 2. It's Keir 2.0. So I'm like, all right, dang. So I got my start on Grey's Anatomy. I'm very, very grateful for that. Some of the biggest scenes. Of course, went into the Marvel movies, but I did Kingdom, just Rosewood, just a lot of different little shows I was just popping up in, a couple movie spots, some movies that was just kind of some little movies going around. You can kind of see my IMDb for that. But the biggest thing that I'm doing, the newest thing that I'm doing right now is called LA Undercover. And it's one of them gangster movies. It's everything I said I'm not, but my character in it is not. So I play a very safe character in the midst of a whole lot of craziness. So the part 1 is already out. It's been on I think Amazon, Tubi, a couple other networks. But then part 2, I'm in part 2, which will be coming out soon. So
Hold on, you said Rosebush. You talking about Vin Raines Rosebush?
No, with old boy that all the women love. What's his name? Morris Chestnut.
yes, I was in Rosebush. Well, I had to work with Morris Chestnut every day. Like that was not a bad thing. That was not a bad thing.
Pretty boy.
I was not mad, and he the cool thing, he was very nice. He was very nice, and he remembers you. Like you could tell him something. I'm not joking. You could tell him something today. He'll come back 2 weeks later and be like, "So how was that such and such?" You're like, "What?
Yeah.
Did it work out?" Actually, all right. True story. Morris Chestnut is the reason why I'm an actor right now. Why I'm a SAG actor right now.
Wow.
Morris Chestnut. Never told that story because every day I would come into set. I was just a background actor at the time, and Morris was like, "Did you get your papers? Did you get your papers? Did you get your?" I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Are you SAG yet?" Like he would not leave me alone until I joined SAG. Like he stayed on me every single day. Did you get your papers? You're gonna be a better actor when you do this. So now my next goal, I already work. My first goal was to work with Keir. My next goal is at this point to work with Morris Chestnut. So yeah,
Man,
and you can't even
What
like.
is, I'm sorry. What is SAG?
Real talk.
Screen Actors Guild.
Screen Actors Guild.
Real
It's
talk,
their
you
union.
can't lust after him once you get to know him. You can't. Like all that. Oh my God, he fine. That goes out the window when you work with him. This man is no joke. He's the truth. He knows his lines. I never saw him miss. He never made a mistake. He came in prepared, and he smelled good on top of that. And he was nice to you on top of that. If you was a dude or a chick, he talked to you like he knew you forever. So shout out to Morris Chestnut. Like I can never say anything negative. I can't even look at him like that no more. I can't. I can't.
Hey,
He sounds like he's a good dude. He sounds like a good dude.
Seriously.
Yeah.
You want to meet him.
Hey, Drew.
Well, back to what you were saying earlier, like that's an important thing when celebrities, when stars come in and they actually are, when they're kind and they actually remember your name and they talk, like that is something very important when to be on set with, man, when you have stuff like that. Man, but we lost. Where's Lori? She guess something happened. But I was gonna say, also, man, I got a joint on Amazon Prime. It's called Gray Streets. Y'all gotta check that out, man. It's like a psychological thriller. It's on Amazon Prime. It's called Gray, Grey, Gray Streets, Gray with an E. And I got my mentor Harry Lennox is in it, and the great late Denise Dowse is in it, and it's my buddy Fred Samaj, and we got a great cast, and it's a great awesome like psychological dark action kind of thriller. So check that out on Amazon Prime as well. Gray Streets.
I'm writing it down now.
How do you go about your selection choice? The people that you want in your different pictures and sets and stuff like that. I mean, I know obviously you set up casting auditions or whatever the case, but how do you know basically?
Well, I mean, it's Hollywood and this industry. It's about who you know. A lot of times, a lot of projects are cast already in that a lot of the people who are making these projects, they already know who they want. In their films and in their that's why it's important to network and to get to know and get connected with as many people as possible, because when you're casting a project, of course you're going to think of the people already before you go out and have auditions. So it just depends on the project and what they're who's making it, and if they already have people in mind already. I mean, or if they don't, then they have a full, audition process. It just depends.
Okay. Man, y'all, there's just so much more going on. I think the first time we spoke to Lori here on the Funky Uncles, she was telling us a whole bunch of stuff. And from then till now, she like keeps me abreast on how things work out there. And I'm like, man, listen, I don't know if I'd be ready to just elbow somebody on a daily if I had to go through some of that stuff. And I work in hospitality, and I'd be ready to go through all that. So shout out to y'all for putting up with all that. Lou, I know you know what's going on. I know you quiet over there, but Lou knows all this too.
I'm listening very attentively. Good brother.
Man, you get mad props for that, and being able to talk to you and see how things are and your stance with things. For those that will come along later and watch this and get informed themselves. And somebody might even reach out to you, say, "Man, I saw you on that Funky Uncle John. What do you think?"
Right.
But,
I certainly hope so, man. I thank you for having me. This was awesome, and it was really fun. And this was, it's always great to talk about these things and to and like I said, to be honored as a guest. So I'm honored to be here, man. And thank you for having me. And I'm so glad you got to see the project, and I can't wait for everybody to see it. And I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And you're always welcome to come on to the Funky Uncles. Once you come one time, you like family. So
gotta come back.
Gotta come back. We gotta get you a chapeau. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Lori already got hers. I don't know. She didn't wear it tonight, but she already got it. And Lou has his. So
yeah.
I got a quick question. Keir,
yeah, sure.
First and foremost, good brother, I've talked to Lori at overextended amount of time in terms of the performance. From actor to actor, I tip my hat. If I have my hat on, I tip my hat. It's a well performed joint. I wanted to ask the question: how did you feel about the line when he said about her asking him to blow the leaves off of the roof? Because listen, every single word that was said, I don't know if it was organic or if it was line for line. Everything that was said, I was like, why in the hell would she want and ask for the character, that is, to blow the leaves off of the roof? I'm like, what the hell? That's what the storm is for. And as soon as I said that, your character said the exact same thing. I jumped up. I think I've laughed hard. I haven't laughed as hard in something that was that short in such a long time.
Man,
because it was beat for beat, word for word. It was like, I've been there before. I've had that situation before, but I wanted to get your take. What was, when you read the line, because as an actor, there's digestion on the line. It's like, why the hell? So was it organic or was that scripted? And how did that, just real quick, for just to geek out from actor to actor. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No problem, man. I love this. This is all, this is all you ever dream of as an actor, is to be in situations like this and to be able to laugh and talk and connect about stuff like this. So
hilarious. I swear,
for real.
Laughing hilarity. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Man, well, first of all, I get that line was scripted. I got to give all the credit to Lance, who wrote this piece. That he was scripted. However, my connection with that is, this short speaks to men and it speaks to women. Like it like on Lori's point of view on stuff, women are gonna be like, exactly, oh my god, and Brandon's point of view, men gonna be like, I know, man, you better tell her, dog.
Right.
Like, everybody is gonna connect to this, and that was the fun of it.
That was exactly how I said it. I was like, yeah, dog. Yeah, exactly. What the hell?
although it was scripted, again, it comes from, look, I've been married 12 years, man. You get in those situations where, especially I think for me, it connects to like when your wife or when your lady, even not, it doesn't have to be your wife. It could be just your girlfriend, your lady, when they ask you to do something, and you're like, okay, you're doing something, and they ask you to do something that, at that moment, you're like, okay, on my priority level, doing that, like, okay, you want me? Can you take the garbage out, or can you move this box from, from the basement to the bedroom? Okay, sure, no problem, I got you.
Right.
But right now, I'm doing what I'm doing, and when I am done, I'll go get the box and I'll take it up, whatever. And that frustration of when you know, as a man, you realize that she's like, no, I want you to do it right now. Like, it's not about, you know, when in your mind, you're like, but you're not even going to do nothing with it right now. Like, I'm
Right.
I'm gonna if I stop what I'm doing right now, which is what I'm doing something right now. I'm focused on it. If I stop that and go and take this box and put it on in the bedroom, it's gonna stay in the bedroom until later when you go in there and finally do something with it later, when is with the exact time when I could have went and put it up there when I was done with doing what I'm doing. So that kind of a situation is what fueled that line and saying that at that moment in the film. So,
brother, you infused the power of a million black men.
Yeah.
And that ain't just black men. That ain't just black men. That's every man and every woman and every white women, Latino women,
right?
Asian women, all men who are with a woman go through
right. Infused with the power of a billion men standing strong.
Everybody threw up their fists. Like, that's wrong.
Delivered.
Come on, right on, bro.
I'm saying, I swear, I lie to you not. I damn near almost shed a tear on how many times I wanted to say that exact same line. I will get to it. I got a job. I said the same. I was like, yo, he is speaking God's words.
Listen,
it was so powerful.
Listen, Lance finally got us the we shot this in July of last year.
Right.
So and Lance told us, he said, look, I take a while to edit my projects because I like them a certain way. And Lance is kind of a perfectionist. And he was like, it's gonna take a while, maybe like, in wintertime, early next year, you guys will see the finished product. So finally, we saw the finished project, like, I guess 2 weeks ago or something. He sent us a link. We watched it, we loved it, and we were on his ass after that. Like, yo, can we get like a clip to show? Like, can we just show like a teaser, man? I know we can't post the link, or we can't post it to everybody because we're doing the film festival thing and there's rules.
Right.
Can we get something just to show? Because like the poster, everybody loved the poster. We put the poster out, everybody went wild. And it was like, yo, can we just get, because actors, I got to show something. Come on, man.
Somebody, yes.
And said, okay, look, I'll give y'all a little clip, a little something. And so that clip is what he chose. And when he chose it, when I saw the clip, man, I laughed out loud because it was just so funny and so true. And nobody's right. Nobody's right. Like, that's not, that clip ends in his frustration.
Right.
But she has a valid point of view in what she's saying to him. And he's got his point of view. And it's like,
right.
I think, Seinfeld had a joke, one of his bits, he was talking about marriage. He said, marriage is like playing chess, but marriage is like playing chess, but the chessboard is made of water and the pieces are made of smoke. It's like it doesn't matter if you try to checkmate it, it don't matter.
It don't matter.
Marriage is like chess, but the chessboard is made of water and the pieces are made of smoke. Like, it just doesn't, like, it just goes, it's a never ending back and forth. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. But then sometimes somebody's right, then sometimes somebody's wrong. But like, it's just, you can just relate to it. You just relate to it. It's so funny.
I was very blessed enough to check out the clip. And one of the things that I did spot out that was so profound was after the argument, when both people fell asleep at the table, the one thing that I picked up on was his shirt.
Hey, Laurie, she's back.
There she goes. Your shirt was her pillow. So I was like, you know what? That was a point where he actually got up, put the shirt on her, just so that way there's an element of love. And what I miss so much when it comes to really great storytelling, what I miss so much, like the days of back in the day, there was on YouTube, there was Black and Sexy. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Black and Sexy TV. Yeah. Adventures of an Awkward Black Girl. Like there were so many great YouTube shows that were like, I got to rush to get to this, just to go check it out and just to go see what the progression of the story. When I saw that, it reminded me so much of going back to that moment of looking at Black cinema, looking at us in our best, in our worst, and telling an interesting story in such a way that we can not only connect, but we can say, I've been there. I wonder what's going on. I wonder what's the future. I wonder how they got there. What was the reasonings? What was the dynamics? Is she this? Is he that? All this. It was just an array of where to or what could or how can in a small amount of infinite of that finite of time. And I gotta tip my hat off to both of you guys on such a dynamic, wonderful representation. And you, sir, Lori is one thing, but you, sir, with the strength of Samson in your hand, continue to deliver God's words for the rest of us, so that way you carried us on your shoulders, whatever you chose to do. If there's a continuation or circuit, I'm praying that it actually goes in circulation and then there's more to it. We just cannot just have one. You just can't have just one.
So Lance, when you look at this later, Lance said he's going to look at this later. So Lance, when you look at this later, you know that there are many, 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 many people who do not want this to end like this. We want more.
It just can't be that much of a cliffhanger to not know what's the next step, because there's so many different tons. Are we in the future? Are we in the past? Like, where are we? When there's so many different dynamic ranges, but the element of Black love and Black storytelling with such dynamic characters and individuals that are portraying these characters, I guess I got to tip my hat to you, both of you guys.
And Lou, I got to add, Lou, it's also the reality that makes it relatable.
Yes.
It's the reality and the way that you guys brought forth the reality of the situation in a relationship, so that each sex could feel, each gender could feel it. The men could feel it from her saying, well, I don't know, do it, and every man was like, man, I felt that, man. Please, Lord, let me get up. There's some guys, somebody gonna watch and get up and do something that their wife told them to do just from listening to that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so it's the reality about, and that's what in entertainment, for those of us who are not in the industry, that's what draws us. It's the relatability. It's just like with music. Well, that's entertainment as well. When you can relate and you can see yourself on both sides of that table, or feel something from each side of that table, you did something special. You created something special. So again, Lance, go ahead and start writing, bro. If you haven't started writing, you need me to fill in some sentences or something, I'll do it.
Man, well, you know what? I just want to say, I do want to point out something that you said earlier, bro, about the love, and it's like we can't glance over that, and not to give anything away, but there we have our heated moments in this, but there are touching moments, and because it's like and on purpose we had discussions about this when Lance was writing the script about how it should end, and not to give anything away, but just we wanted it to not the whole point of this is to show the strength of marriage, the strength of a man and wife, men and women. We're in a place in society now, especially on social media, where we have to deal with everybody. There's so much hate, and men and women are like, there's this perpetual, like, men and women don't hate each other and don't need each other. We have to erase that. Men and women need each other. Men and women are, even I would even go as far to say, people want to say, well, men and women are equal. No, men and women are not equal. We complement each other.
Mhm, mhm.
We complement each other, and men need women. Women need men. All of this, I'm so independent and I don't need no man. F that. That's all. Like, let that stuff die. We need each other, and that was an integral part of what we wanted to show here. We wanted to show, yeah, it get tough, it gets frustrating. Your voice get high. You know, that fire from your belly come out sometimes, because that's how it is. Sometimes it is. That's the real.
And a lot of times, too, people were raised to be independent, and it's not that it's a bad thing to be independent, but you lose focus and sight on the interdependence of being able to come together and work together, and like you said, you know, complement one another and lose that sense of togetherness for the sake of just being self.
Yeah, and you got to bring it back to love, man, because that's the whole point. Like, what are we doing this for if there's no love, you know? And it's what you know, married people, a lot of times, yeah, you know, they might be like, oh, well, I'm, you know, you may have frustrations in your marriage, but then you think about going out there and being out in the jungle again, being out in the streets again, and you be like, oh, well, you know what, maybe this ain't so bad. You know, you got to bring it back to that love, man.
What caught my eye also at the end, when it was the opportunity to hug, and that joker strolled right on by you.
Well,
I said, oh Lord, it ain't over.
Don't tell everything.
Duck, bro, duck. But the reality and the relatability of that is like, okay, even though we've gotten through this storm, we're not totally over it, but we're still in the same vicinity where we're not together, but we're in the same vicinity. And as long as you're in the same vicinity in life, that means you're not separated.
Yeah.
You're not totally separated. You're still together. It's just you still have to put in some more work. But both people being in the same vicinity means that both people are willing to get to the point where they're together. And you know, that's just me looking deeper into just past the aesthetics.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, at the end, she really well, it was instructed to not give in totally. You know, like up until this point, she kind of held her stance. You know, if you really notice, she really kind of held her kind of character the entire time. She didn't really break. You know, you didn't really see her crack a smile. You didn't really see her open up. She was to her point. She was making her point the whole time. And then towards the end, when she's finally disheveled, you know, it was meant to show you that she's unraveled. You know, she's not gonna hold on to that hard exterior anymore. You know, and she couldn't, because her face was all up her face and her hair was all up her face.
Her face was in the shirt.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to keep drilling your point when you make a hot mess up in here, you know. So, but not like at the end, you finally get a chance to see her softer side. You finally get a chance to see her, and she kind of toyed with him a little bit at that ending, you know. But she was always on board, because she was all at that point. At that point, she was on board. We messed up. You know, we took this way too far. Look at us. You know what I'm saying? We look crazy right now because, you know, we sleep at the table. You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm embarrassed, you're embarrassed. I said some stuff, you said some stuff. We good? You know, so basically, that was that ending.
Bring back to love. Got to bring back to love, because there's no point. Because if this short was just about arguing and being frustrated, I wouldn't have wanted to do it. I was like, this is not. What's the point in this? We have to, you know, this has to be because you know, we're trying to promote black love and black marriage and black people coming together, you know, and you can't do that if you don't ever show us loving each other. That, you know, if you always are showing us at odds all the time, then of course nobody is like gonna want to be a part of it, you know. So yeah, man, it's good.
I have a quick question, because I know, you know, I know y'all might be ready to go. I have a question because me and probably most of the regular world is not in industry. You were talking about the film festivals. And so how about a breakdown of the film festivals, how that works, and how it's important to the careers of actors?
Well, you know what? Film festivals, it's one of those things where, you know, it gets your name out there. It gets more people to see your project, what's going on with it. You get to you get it into venues where there are industry people who are actually there attached to, so they're there where they can see your work. Whereas like if you just kind of put it out on the internet, who knows who's ever going to see it. But these are directed places and points of viewing where industry people are called to. And it's like, getting your name out there, and then you get the little icon to put on your posters. Someone, went to this film festival, went to that film festival, so that it just means that like people are recognizing your work, and that on a professional level, in that way.
Okay, so
exactly,
it's a big
it's
showcase.
credibility. It's credibility. It helps you, just like Keir said, it helps you to get the awards. You get recognized by people. Like a lot of people, when they start going into film festivals, they really don't have a name for themselves already. They're really not household names. They're not typically established in many cases. Not to say that's always the case, but in more cases, when you see a lot of these movies, you never heard of these actors. And this is an opportunity for them to be seen and showcased for what they can do.
Okay.
What they have to offer. Quick
break. Shout out to Lewis, because for his film.
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and shout you out, Lou. Bro, you must have thought I forgot. I ain't forget. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
because my man Lou put together a little something. Like, hold up, that's my little big brother right there. Y'all go ahead. There
you go.
And I thank you for that, good brother. And I will say it is very humbling when you find that your project has gone overseas, and somebody overseas that you never know, you never will, you never talk to, you don't even speak their language, but yet when they see your stuff and they say this is good stuff. So it's humbling, and it's one of the best feelings in the world when you get an email back and saying that your project has been blah blah blah, whatever it is, selected, awarded, whatever. You're just happy that you're able to promote and push. So I salute any and all filmmakers to push their work, because this is what we're here for. We're here to entertain. This is why we get up in the morning. This is what God has gifted to us. This is why we were blessed. This is loaned to us. This is, we're borrowed this gift. Yeah. This isn't ours. This is for everyone. So when you are aware of the fact that you are given something and you're offered a gift, you cannot never pigeonhole it. You can never not be alone with this. You can't stifle this. You got to share it. You got to be, amongst the populace. You know what I mean? So, I am but one of many, but I share the stage and saying, come aboard, because like my man Keir said, there's room for everybody on here. Yeah. Everyone can eat. Everybody can eat.
That's the most beautiful thing. That sentiment right there, bro, is the most. I love that. Because in our community, there's so many people, they want to eat a big meal, but they want you to sit over there and snack in order for them to be happy. Yeah. But to let everybody get their fill, to me, that is the most beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the two of you brothers, because it's said that we're selfish, but we have it recorded. We had two brothers right here who have that within them, and I know there are many more. So those that see this and hear this, they know that they are not alone. So don't hold back if that's how you see things. If that's your sentiment as well, keep doing like that. Keep pushing. You're going to be in the minority, but it's still necessary, even though you're in the minority.
Yeah. No matter what. Sometimes you're not even. Sometimes you think you're in the minority, but you're actually in the majority. But the majority is being quiet. They're not speaking. It's like the majority. If they would stand up and open their mouth and be like, "Hey, actually, this is how we all feel." This ain't just no marginalized. Like we all feel like this. Then we're making progress. Then we're making progress.
Yes,
no doubt. I love it. Beautiful people coming together. We gonna keep that phrase. Ain't that right, HD? We that's what we are now. We beautiful and wonderful people in the world.
Yes. Lance, Lori, I really do, and Lewis, I appreciate you, as well as Drew, for bringing me on. this is really great to see people out here doing great things.
Yes.
Prayers and blessings, and may the Lord continue to cover you all as a blessing, to make sure that you all are continuing your works and continue to flow, that you may have others, even such as myself and people out in the world, to be able to look at this from this day forward and be able to say, well, hey, if they can do it, maybe I can do it.
There you go.
I really appreciate
it. Thank you, bro. Thank you for having us, man. This was really fun. And I look forward to the next one for sure, man. Thank y'all. This is a great show and a great platform. And I'm honored to be here. Thank you very much.
We got to connect, bro. We got to connect. Keir, we got to connect, bro.
For sure, man. Hit me up. Hit me. Yeah, we'll trade info. Let's do it.
Yes, sir. Lori, you already know. Come on.
I know.
I got everybody's number now.
Yeah, man.
I'm the networking king.
Get my number to him, man. Give my number over.
Yeah. No doubt.
Hit me up tonight, man. Anytime.
Absolutely.
All right.
Brother.
So with that, we shall shut down this episode of the Funky Uncles Visits Hollywood. Boy, I tell you, we had a good time tonight. And I definitely appreciate everybody that came on throughout the night. We got lots of information. We had lots of fun. We met another good brother. You know, there's like I said, welcome on the Funky Uncles at any time. Anytime we have a show, you come on, because our topics will vary. You know, that you can trust and believe. And whenever you want to come on, chime in, you're always welcome. All this family up on here. Much love to everybody. Hey, y'all keep that good stuff coming, because you know I'm gonna be watching. And like I told Lori, I think since Lori was modeling with QVC and she did things here and there on Facebook, I've been like promoting her to young women. Said, look, I got somebody. You need to go look at her page. You know, you need to go over there and check that out. Mm-hmm. And so now we have another brother that's in the industry here. So now when I run across people, have reference points. I can say, look, we have somebody right here. If you need ideas or whatever, y'all can network, y'all can put things together. You never know what may pop up in the future. And I love to see it.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't keep it from me, because I definitely want to see it.
Watch out for what Lori does in the future. You want sci-fi thriller? Just watch.
Lori is skyrocketing, baby. She's skyrocketing.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right. Well, I want to once again appreciate everybody. Everybody have a wonderful night. As always, I'm easy to reach. I may be at work because that's just where I am most times. I just happen to have a day off. But at any time y'all want to reach out, talk about anything, be it life or whatever, that's what the Funky Uncles about. We're about supporting our people, and you know, even if we don't know you, you're still our people, because you are people. You feel me? But and to the audience, let me give you all a Funky Uncle salute, and tune in next time. Share, watch this video. You know, tell everybody how great it is, and we'll see y'all next time.
Check out the McFaltons coming soon.
Yeah, most definitely check that out, and you'll see. Once you watch watch this again, and you'll catch everything.
Well, this will be my first, so I'll know what everybody is talking about.
Right, he gonna hit me up laughing. I watched.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Much love to everybody, man. Peace.
Peace, y'all.
Good night.
Good night.